Hello, my name is Amber Lane and I am 22 years old. I am a wife of 3 years and I have a daughter who is 2. I am currently studying early childhood education at Sullivan. This is my 5th quarter and I'm hoping to graduate in December. There are 2 interesting stories that I wanted to share with you today. First being the birth of my child and the second being the catching of the Tim McGraw towel. Finding out that you're pregnant is a very scary but exciting experience all at the same time. When me and my husband found out I was pregnant, we were only married for a few months. We just got a house, we just started paying our own bills, and just strayed away from mommy and daddy. We called our parents. They were all very excited to hear about it. The 9 months went by. I got big, of course, and the baby was growing. In about 7 months, I had to be put on bed rest. I started having some complications. My blood sugar, I had high blood pressure, I had swelling really bad in the feet, the arms, legs, everywhere. But there was no way I could sit in a bed for 2.5 months waiting for this baby to arrive. So of course it made things a lot worse. As the 9th month came along, I was a day late. I went to the doctor. I got an ultrasound done. He asked how the baby's been, and I told him I really haven't been feeling the baby move the past couple weeks. So he did an ultrasound, looked at everything. He looked at us and said, "You guys need to go over to the hospital." We were excited. We thought this was good news. Turns out, as they hooked us up to the monitor, the cord was wrapped around her neck, and she was in a lot of stress. So they gave me some Pitocin to induce my labor. And then I did an epidural, and after the epidural, I couldn't tell you anything. I know I slept through it all until it was time for me to push. When it was time for me to deliver, things were a little hard at first. She wouldn't come out, so my doctor used a vacuum seal suction to get her out. The first time he used it, it broke, and the second time she finally came out, the cord was indeed wrapped around her neck. They had to untangle it. She wasn't making any noise. I think she was breathing, but barely. She was kind of wheezing. They instantly rushed her to the incubation room. I didn't see her, didn't hold her, didn't really hear anything for a whole hour. Probably the longest, worst hour of my life. But once I got her and was able to hold her, it was magical. Just seeing that little girl in my arms looking back at me was just wonderful, and nothing can take that away. That memory is just amazing. Well, after that bittersweet story, I know y'all are wondering about my Tim McGraw experience. It was senior year, spring break. My parents' friends had bought us tickets, third row tickets. We had to drive the car. We got there, found our seats. This place was filled with so much energy. It was unreal. We first heard from Jason Aldean. He was just starting out in his career. We heard from Halfway to Hazard, and then the lights just went dim, went dark. We were like, oh my god, Tim McGraw time. So excited. Tim McGraw is my favorite country artist. We knew every song, sang right along. About the 4th song, he was singing Last Dollar. You know, being teenage girls, we were just jumping around having a good old time. All of a sudden, we see everybody just move forward and throw their hands up. What are y'all doing? We kept looking, and we look up, and Tim McGraw was just wiping his face with a towel. It's like, okay, big deal. Next thing we know, he just pitches it in our direction. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this towel. It's a towel, a sweaty old towel that some guy used, but it was Tim McGraw. So we go diving forward, throw our arms up, and we're trying to catch this towel, and I did. I couldn't believe I caught it at first. I was like, oh my god, I caught this towel, this is amazing. And I blushed all night long. It was the best thing ever. I've never caught anything at a baseball game, basketball game, nothing. So this was amazing. We're going home, and all we can talk about is how lucky I am, how great it is I have this towel. Went to go home to tell everybody about it. Didn't even believe us. Like, it took about 2 weeks to convince them that this towel was his. The more we talked about it, the more they saw how extremely excited we were, the more they believed it. So finally they believed us, which was great. So I still have his towel in a Ziploc bag, locked up in the lockbox. Nobody's touched it, and it's not even been washed. Well, so that was my experience with Tim McGraw. Those are my two wonderful events that have happened in my life. I hope they've entertained you, and I hope they give you something to talk about. Thank you.